Never underestimate my ability to press the wrong button. We are a bit early, but that is okay. Fry has a new bed, but he is still able to sleep half off of it. I got a bigger bed thinking he'd be much more comfortable, but no, the off sleeping continues. Thank you, Eris. I know we are a bit early for doing your mod stuff. Welcome, Slinky and Mass. It is Friday. We have survived another week. We will make it to the weekend. Iris, welcome. Reindeer and Christine. We have survived. We will survive and continue to make it through until at least the weekend. Possibly, hopefully, maybe. Good morning, little peanut. So, our first story is that no good Mo goes unpunished. JKD Buck, you have no idea how honored I feel. He is doing fine. He has reverted back to his normal form of even if he has a nice new, brand new, super nice bed that I got for him, he's still sleeping half on, half off. So he's doing much better. Uh, he was still tempted to go dumpster diving again, so possibly not going to learn things the hard way the first time. I know, Iris, he's gotten so big. A Pomsky, he is not, and then there is Loki, the giant cat, and welcome Wolfram and AC's Wildflower, and Sal and Snivels. We are all here. So I know. No good Mo goes unpunished. And now that Law and Crime is following the New York Times, we are never going to put the video that actually corresponds to the case that you are actually writing the article about on the top thing. So this looks like an interesting case that I do want to look at. The missing Texas mom found dead in boyfriend's refrigerator wrapped in plastic. But this is not the case we are covering in this article. Caitlin Armstrong was convicted of murdering a cycling star in a perceived romantic rivalhood or, relation dateship love triangle with Maura Wilson. And for some reason, this trial was not televised, but we were allowed to hear recordings. And if you would like to actually keep up with this trial or go through and rewatch it, Dave did a lot of good updates. So Making Law Simple, go to his channel. He did coverage of it and can maybe explain what happened other than a Mo got unalived. And this is why I'm covering it. Good morning, Danny T. The woman accused of gunning down a competitive cyclist she perceived as a rival for her boyfriend's affection has been convicted of murder. Caitlin Armstrong, 35, was convicted by a jury in Austin, Texas. Now, this is after she tried to escape, if you will, when she was at a medical appointment prior to the trial. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to watch it because I've heard it's all the hilarity, at least in well, we didn't see a video of the crime actually happen. It could be the one-armed man. I was stuck in the sentencing that would never end. So again, she was convicted of the death in 2022 of Moira Mo Wilson, 25. The jury returned its verdict after around 2 hours of deliberation, which makes me ask the question, did they get the lunch? Because I think they get, what, like $10.50 per day per diem, to serve as a juror. So did you get lunch? There was no discernible reaction from Armstrong as the verdict was read at trial. Armstrong did not take the stand in her own defense. I mean, what is she going to say? I did not go to Texas. I did not, then quickly run away to places unknown to get plastic surgery with my sister's passport, but totally look for the other guy. As Law Crime has previously reported, Armstrong was accused of fatally shooting Wilson, a rising star in the world of competitive bike racing, whom she apparently perceived as a romantic rival, in May of 2022 before fleeing the country to Costa Rica. Now, also, madam, there's these things, there's these little pocket computers that we carry around all the time. Had you looked at things, you would have realized that Costa Rica is, for the most part, not a territory and therefore of the United States, and therefore will follow all sort of extradition rules. Now, at least Charlie Adelson's mom actually did some Googling and was looking at countries that had, complex, relationships and histories with America that might not be so amenable to extraditing your convicted ass. But no, she went to Costa Rica because no child left behind, I guess. I'm glad we've stopped teaching civics and government in America. Nothing bad will ever happen. But she was apprehended and brought back to the US the following month. During closing arguments, Armstrong's defense lawyers Rick Kofer and Geoffrey Puryear insisted that Armstrong was innocent and that Wilson's real killer is still out there. Okay, I mean, this is not The Fugitive. The one-armed man and Tommy Lee Jones are nowhere to be found. Who killed Moira Wilson? Kofer asked the jury on Thursday. I don't know, and what an unsatisfying answer. God, I hope these were public defenders. Kofer also said that if Armstrong was convicted and subsequently exonerated, jurors would know the basis of why, prompting an objection from prosecutor Ricky Jones. Judge Brenda Kennedy sustained the objection. Puryear accused the prosecution of having, quote, tunnel vision, failing to investigate other potential suspects, and described her journey to Costa Rica as fight or flight response. Stealing your sister's passport, look, relatively uneventful and untransformative plastic surgery, pretending to be a yoga instructor. I mean, all these are crimes against humanity. Oh, they were hired. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, it is possible that, we are simply in Marvel Universe 1.3 and the real Avengers will take care of this. I know, she wasn't a yoga instructor. I just joke because of all the classes and all of the, fitness things I have ever tried, yoga has actually been the hardest thing. I don't know, look, I'm neither flexible nor do I do relaxation very well, so yeah, oh, well, that's special, but if you want publicity as a defense attorney, shouldn't you take cases publicly that you can win? Look, as a non-lawyer, I don't know, maybe this goes into your, like, "Hey, we at least" I don't know. State Attorney Guillermo Gonzalez on rebuttal well, okay, told jurors that there's only one reasonable conclusion. No one saw who murdered Moira Wilson, but the evidence all points in one direction, the defendant, Gonzalez says. Good morning, Miami Spice. Yeah, definitely no good Mo goes unpunished. Um, again, personal taste, confession here. I don't understand how two women were still fighting for a man who was wearing spandex and publicly cycling in spandex with, look, the cyclists around here, the ones that wear the spandex and, all of that jazz, they tend to think like they own the entire road and they want to wave you wave you on past, regardless of if there's a curve or a hill coming up that you wouldn't be able to see and could possibly, hit someone in oncoming traffic, but they wanna wave you around until you get to no. So, I may have a little of a bias against cyclists. It's not Yeah, mass if they took this case for publicity, they've gotta be bummed that the opening and closing was streamed. Farm Mom, he said he thought it would be good for his career. Well, I mean, I think we have some Caitlyn Jenner tweets that that will also prove that maybe some people should think before they do things like cut once, measure twice. Give it the old little bit of a break. In what in the actual Schnell, but I got to write cockfighting in a tweet, so I wasn't gonna pass up this headline because 'cause I'm 12 and a half, nearly 13 on my more mature days. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Sitt slammed for openly supporting cockfighting, encourages farmers preserving the state's spirit of competition. Yes, he's probably running after the cats or the squirrels. I I okay. Alright. Like I said, I really only picked this headline because I got to tweet the word cockfighting. Because, like I said, I'm 5. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Sitt is getting blasted by animal rights activists and fellow lawmakers for showing overwhelming support for cockfighting. In a video submitted for the annual meeting of Oklahoma Game Fowl Commission Sunday, Sitt propped up the game fowl farming as vital for rural economy and aligned himself with the group whose mission is to legalize the inhumane sport. Y'all, I can't. No, no, did not do that. He is. Where did Loki is Loki back there? Loki tends to if you see Thor come in, I might have to rescue Fry because Thor likes to come in and if Fry's asleep, bop him on the head and then run away, or as a cat, just sit there and look at him like, "What are you gonna do to me?" I wish I could be with you at the Game Fowl Commission's annual legislative meeting, but I want to take a moment to cheer you on from the sidelines. I I didn't know that there was a Game Fowl Commission. I didn't realize we had official cockfighting lobbyists. Oh my god, if they have T-shirts look, if any of y'all are from Oklahoma, and look, if it goes against your personal beliefs, just point me into the area where I could buy a T-shirt that says, like, something something tawdry about cockfighting, let's be honest, like this particular quote right here, I mean, as I said, I think it seems like a terrible sport, I don't know why anyone would wanna watch it. It's not been deeply ingrained to my culture, I don't understand it. This seems like a fairly tone deaf and weird hill to fight on, but okay. I mean, how much lobbying money can the, fighting chickens of America have? Oh my. I have never been more excited in my life. That's it. I'm just saying if this particular group happens to have a tawdry t-shirt, I'm there. The second-term Republican governor applauded the commission for, quote, "preserving Oklahoma's heritage of cockfighting," which he claimed was a product of the state's spirit of competition and camaraderie. Sitt stated cockfighting is also the main driver for the state's economy, despite being made illegal in 2002. Oklahoma, you have to have some sort of s you're a big state. You're saying this is your only resource? I Okay. I mean, can't you put up a fake house where Elizabeth Warren's ancestors used to live? I mean, can we not can you not make a musical theme hotel? I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of, you know, musical lovers that would love to stay in Oklahoma, at Oklahoma, the hotel, being accosted by musical singers. I did see that. Oh my gosh. I I saw that, but I had more important news to cover, i.e., a headline that would enable me to tweet out cockfighting. David, I have my eye on the real news. Not anything, substantial like the Murdaugh case, but, uh, quote, "We need to protect the nearly 5,000 game fowl farmers across Oklahoma and lift up our rural and municipal economies. I can't wait to see what we accomplish together in the next legislative session." Well, sir, you've done been governor 1 term. I mean, if you didn't make cockfighting legal in that 1 term, what have you done for them? Well, I'm telling you, it is it for I'm sorry. Look, y'all, it's Friday. We have it never was a that's it. That's our T-shirt. That's our T-shirt right there. Also, autocorrect, I have never been ducking anything, foul or trying to hide from anything. I don't get this sport. The commission is expected to push for cockfighting legalization to be reexamined in the 2024 session. Lawmakers failed to pass such a law in either state or Senate or House of Representatives. Animal rights activists, including a former Oklahoma governor, slammed Sitt for openly supporting the abusive sport, which is known to contribute to other underground crimes such as drugs and gambling. Well, I thought the whole reason to have these fights was so you could gamble on them. I mean, does anyone wanna see feathered nuggets fight each other if money isn't involved? Look, I have never been to one of these. I don't even think I wanna see one of these. It looks brutal. I can't. As long as it doesn't take 17 hours, I'm there. Quote, "Cockfighting is barbaric and bound up with other crimes." Former Oklahoma Attorney General Drew Edmondson, who served from 1995 to 2004, said in a statement, "Governor Sitt is associating himself with the law list, and that's not a proper role for any statewide elected official." Former Governor Frank Keating accused Sitt of being out of touch with his constituents, pointing to a 2023 poll providing that less than 10% of Oklahomans think that cockfighting should be legal, and nearly 90% of voters are in favor of the existing statewide ban that makes it a felony. Yeah, well, thank goodness for earbuds. I try not to. I try not to be. Wayne Passell, the president of Animal Wellness Action and anti-cockfighting said anti-cockfighting is typically unanimous front for Oklahoma lawmakers. He accused the state sheriffs of largely turning a blind eye to the reports of these sort of, I guess, underground sporting events that still happen, which is considered a felony. Governor Sitt barely concealed Sit's barely concealed embrace of cockfighting is both jarring and unique in American politics, Purcell said. No other governor in any state in my 30 years of working on this issue has ever signaled support for any sort of staged animal fighting. Any politician supporting it embraces animal cruelty and lawlessness. Again, if it's not related to betting, I don't understand why anyone would wanna see feathered nuggets fight each other. It just but that's just me, I just pretend to know. In Where the Hell Was Sarah Boone, in other news, wow, this thing is heavy. A body found stuffed in a suitcase and dumped in a Northern Californian lake. Just I don't know. Authorities in California this week are seeking the public's help to solve a killing of a man whose body was found, stuffed in a suitcase. The Oakland Police Department released the identity of the victim found by volunteers on Halloween as 23-year-old Gabriel Gomez Ramundo. His body was found in a blue suitcase floating in Lake Merritt at the 1900 block of Lakeshore Avenue, authorities said in a news release. So I don't know if that's him. YouTube decided to unalive me? Am I not on YouTube right now? I can imagine, so probably not. They're probably like, "Nah, you'll never be monetized." Eh, look. Oh, okay. Well then Oh, okay. Oh, alright, that makes more sense. I was like, "Well, that" but then some of the things that are on kids' YouTube, I'm like, "Holy crow, okay." I was like, "I'm gonna take this to the Supreme Court." Sal, I have no idea. Officials were offering a reward of up to $10,000 for information leading to the arrest in the homicide case. Details about the cause and manner of death were not revealed. Police ask anyone with information to contact the Oakland Police Department. So, if you know anything about this gentleman who was left in a suitcase, uh, if you know where Sarah Boone was, just saying. Police began investigating the suspicious death before 11 a.m. on October 31st. Communications Division received a call reporting a body in the 1900 block of Lakeshore Avenue. Once there, officers found the victim with unknown injuries and requested medical assistance. Homicide investigators arrived and launched a probe. Oakland Police Captain Alan Yu told Bay Area Fox affiliate KTVU then that investigators didn't know who the victim was and had scant information. Part of the investigation is trying to determine where the body could have floated from, and that could be any part of the lake. We're looking on at all of those possible outcomes, you said. Authorities have since learned that the man was from Guatemala and had lived in the country for about 8 years. The San Jose Mercury News reported. The paper reported he appeared to be homeless. Volunteers found the partially submerged suitcase on Halloween while cleaning the shore. We said, "Wow, this thing is heavy." Volunteer Kevin Shomo, 71, told the Mercury News, "Normally we see luggage in the lake and sometimes it's full of clothes, but nothing like this." They opened the suitcase, saw the body covered in a sheet, and immediately called 911. Possibly, but do we know where, oh gosh, Maria Sanchez was? Me too. Put me down for double those. 2 suitcases full of cash, not related to any crime, without, like, mafia people trying to come after me. Um, in things for other people, but not for me, company will pay someone $2,000 to watch 12 Hallmark movies. You guys take me out of the running. I would need to be paid so much more to watch Hallmark movies, but I know some people really love them, including my mother. So, a subscription box company is seeking a quote, special Christmas movie maven to get paid $2,000 to watch and rank 12 Hallmark holiday movies. This sounds like torture. Bloomsy Box says the chosen candidate will also receive a quote ample supply of Ghirardelli hot cocoa, two pairs of fuzzy socks to guarantee cozy watching experience. Change that to booze, and you got me talking. We have devised an ironclad rating system designed to stand up to the scrutiny of even the most steadfast of Scrooges, the website says. The film fan will be asked to rank each movie by criteria including festivity factor, predictability quotient. Look, every single one of them should have a level 10 of predictability quotient. Chemistry check, tearjerker test, and replay value. There is a reason I did not. I know. So the movies chosen for the experiment were The Most Wonderful Time of the Year, Crown for Christmas, Nine Lives of Christmas, which I hope involves just a cat going around tearing down Christmas trees. There might be a reason my mom never invites me over for Hallmark movie night. Christmas Getaway, Journey Back to Christmas, Ghost of Christmas Always, Family for Christmas, Christmas Under Wraps, Three Wise Men and a Baby, A Royal Christmas, North Pole, and The Christmas Train. Again, if y'all love Hallmark, good on you. Okay. In addition to the $2,000 payment, the chosen candidate will receive a 12-month flower box subscription. Applications are open until December the 3rd. So there you go. If you would like to be in the running, apparently Bloomsy Box is where you need to sign up. Okay, that's enough. We may have people that actually like it. I know I am not a typical, person. In other news, how do I work AI? Because meet Anita, the AI created Instagram fitness model making thousands of dollars a month. Anita Lopez, aka Fit Anita. Look, I am probably butchering her name, but you know what? She's not real, so she can't get mad at me. Has only been on Instagram for 4 months, and she already has over 110,000 followers and generates $4,000 in monthly revenue. Not bad for someone. I know it's shocking. Uh, for someone who doesn't even exist, virtual models have been around for a few years now, and the advent of artificial intelligence has only made them more realistic and more popular. One standout representative of this new wave of AI created digital influencers is is either look, it's Anita. A cute pink-haired female model from Barcelona who has managed to attract over 100,000 followers in just a few months. She only posts photos of her since video is likely to make her digital form a little too obvious, but every one of her photo garners tens of thousands of likes and many hours in the restroom for preteen boys. Let's be real. Her popularity has translated into a steady monthly income for her creators, who claims that she generates over 4,000 euros a month. Dave, I don't know. Are you Well, to be fair, she if she weren't I don't know. You are you men are impossible to please. First, we get rid of or not Charlie's Angels, but, oh gosh, Victoria's Secret angels, and we put normal women there to make you all happy. And now we bring back real people, but now we can't have artificial people because they're not real enough. It's there is no pleasing you. Uh, Anita Lopez is the brainchild of Barcelona-based communication agency The Clueless, who management decided to invest in virtual models because of the high cost of associated with using real models, such as travel expenses and accommodation. So now we're going freaky, uncanny valley. Look, to be fair, most people are horrible to work with. And models are, I would imagine, constantly hungry, and who wants to deal with a hangry person? You might have a point. Continue talking to me. Uh, Anita, on the other hand, can be anywhere at any time. Although the costs of creating her were high, she started to earn her keep. We are now gonna have freedom for AI. The fact that she is owned by a company is going to piss some people off. Mark my words, 10 minutes from now, AI representation for the win. The Clueless openly markets its service on its website, allowing clients to use its AI generated models for marketing purposes. And Anita is apparently a big hit. Not only is she attractive, but the agency made sure her look, fashion style, and overall personality fit today's online trends. Oh, so she's insufferable. Awesome. Thus ensuring her popularity on social media platforms like Instagram in just 4 months. Well, there you go. It's, she's not real, and you can still feel bad about yourself, women. And corporate execs don't have to worry about Me Too. That is Manti Te'o's girlfriend. Listen, as a person that also can't draw hands, I'm just saying pockets are there for a reason. One of the things that set Anita apart from all the other AI generated models that have been flooding social media of late is her human like appearance. Some AI platforms can churn out stunning human models, but the problem is that most of them look flawless, which is kind of a giveaway um, of them being digital creations. The Clueless actually puts effort into adding physical flaws on Anita. Sometimes they add wrinkles, other times they make it look like she didn't brush her hair. Dennis Heaton, also Nicholas, but I have to say, I like the idea. She already has purple hair, and we don't assume her gender, Dennis. She could have a same-sex AI partner. Oh my god. What is wrong? No, the problem is that her rib cage is impossible. If you look at this particular picture and perspective, it just something about it looks off, but that's just me. I like her hair. I don't care. I'm not on Instagram. None of this bothers me. Although I do wish I could make Instagram, or virtual reality models that made me $4,000 a month too. Ah, right. Anita Lopez is just one of the several virtual models created by Clueless. So if you would like your own virtual model for reasons, contact Clueless in Barcelona. And apparently, they believe that AI will play a huge role in the future of modeling and content creation because it offers a level of specialization and is simply impossible to achieve with human models. Wow, women. Men do it better than you. AI does it better to you. Wow, really, women? I mean, those of us with the XX chromosome, what are we to do? Oh, well. When you're virtual I know it's pronounced Barcelona, but I am not going to lisp my C's because I think that might be cultural appropriation if I try it with my horrible, horrible Northwest or Midwestern accent. I never know where these lines are anymore. If I'm supposed to appropriate the accent or not, who knows? In sad, sad news, that I might steal that. I was gonna say sweater puppies, but that's better. Uh, the former NHL player that was freak accident or not, look, it's going through the UK courts, which I wish they had, publicity, but the former, not NFL, NHL player, Adam Johnson, um, apparently as his girlfriend was packing up his apartment, uh, after his death, found the engagement ring that he was going to propose to her this year or this upcoming year with. So, this is terribly sad. I have only watched about a couple of the replays of this, to be honest. It is an interesting case study. I wish, I knew a an English or a European barrister. I mean, I know Nicholas, but I don't know what the different levels of manslaughter and what exactly they're going to be looking at for, the gentleman that they just arrested, Matt Petgrave, in the fatal, hit with this gentleman. I don't know what their levels or what their requirements for manslaughter or what their investigations look like because it is a fairly foreign system, but it is something that I would really like to see made public just because as a person looking from the outside, I it does look like there was you could argue it several different ways, and I would love to see and maybe there has been a British barrister or, you know, whomever, however they do it, that has explained. Awesome. Thank you. I will write that down. My children come in here and or myself with 900 squirrels. Okay. But yes, that would be something. Oh, okay. Yeah, I will look him up because this is definitely a case that I think could be argued several different ways, and I wonder if everything is I was gonna say everything is hard on a Friday, but that could be taken several different ways. Squirrel. But it was just this is heartbreaking. It's a Friday. I saw it, I put it in here. I will definitely look up his, stuff because that would be something I am interested in because I know we do take a lot of our jurisprudence from, English common law and things like that, but things are definitely a lot different. Uh, in other news, a husband charged with helping his wife murder her ex wants the prosecutor's office booted from his case. Hmm. So this goes back to the, unaliving of Microsoft executive Jared Bridgegen or Bridgen. Look, Y'all know I cannot pronunciate things, and it's a Friday, and for the love of all that is holy. The defense for one of the people who allegedly ambushed and killed the Microsoft exec, 33 years old, wants the entire prosecutor's office booted from his case. Well, sweetie, I also wanna be, well, I wanna be, 9 inches taller and look like Marilyn Monroe. There are things that are not going to happen in my life. Uh, the court filing signed by lawyer Frank J. Tassione claims the state got its hands on and is planning to use privileged attorney-client communication belonging to his client, Mario Enrique Fernandez Saldana, 35. Quote, "Given the number of people who now have access to those to these emails, it will be impossible for defense counsel to determine the scope and severity of the breach in confidentiality," the motion dated Wednesday stated. Fernandez Saldana and his estranged wife, Shanna Lee Gardner, who is being represented by Jose Baez of the Anthony Kaylee Anthony fame, because good lord. Look, if this trial doesn't get televised, I mean, this trial is shaping up to look like a dumpster fire on top of freaking just Armageddon. Face the death penalty in Duval County, Florida, for allegedly scheming to kill Gardner's ex-husband, Bridegan. He died in an ambush on February 16th, 2022, when he encountered a tire blocking a dark area of Sanctuary Boulevard. Of all the you really did have to unalive him on a street named Sanctuary Boulevard. According to Jacksonville Beach Police, he stepped out of the vehicle when someone shot at him as his 2-year-old daughter from his second wife was in the back seat. Prosecutors charged Henry Tenon, 62, Fernandez Saldana's former tenant, as the gunman. Tenon pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and agreed to cooperate with the state's case. Yeah. I didn't really like the Kaylee Anthony case. I didn't really get into it at the time, and then looking back, I can see where the state really overcharged, and that was the crux of a lot of problems. I think had they gone with a lesser charge and not tried to go for the gold because they couldn't prove what they wanted to with the evidence they had. I do not think that Casey Anthony is a good person or should ever be a mom, but that is my personal opinion. Tassione's filing concerns how the state prosecutors allegedly mishandled communication from Fernandez Saldana's electronic devices. Prosecutors had to avoid communication between Fernandez Saldana and his counsel, according to the motion. Prosecutors assured the defense in court they were able to assemble a taint team. We're going to be adults. To redact all privileged communications and send the rest of the data to the state. By September 27th, however, Jesse N. Dreneiser, an attorney for Fernandez Saldana, believed a prosecutor had referenced privileged information. Quote, specifically, the assigned assistant state attorney told undersigned counsel she found incriminating evidence against the defendant and that this evidence consisted of a Word document titled Confidential Communications. The motion stated the defense had advised Fernandez Saldana to write, quote, confidential communications in subject line of any and all emails to them and legal staff. Now they worried that prosecutors got their hands on emails between them and their client. According to the defense motion, the state answered by asserting their taint team removed all communication between the defendant and firms. Quote, the discovery we discussed was not attached to an email. It did not show any client or any attorney names or emails. It did not contain attorney client discussions, the prosecutor wrote. According to the defense motion, so my guess of what happened here is Dum Dum allegedly put the Word document on his phone and saved it in notes or something, and then sent a copy to his, lawyers, but still had the Word document, you know, confidential stuff. And under, readings, you can see that, yeah, people are dumb. Okay, so it didn't contain any attorney-client discussions, the prosecutor wrote. According to the defense motion, quote, "The taint agent forwarded to us for review based on what he advised. I determined that nothing would suggest it was privileged at the time." So again, this ding-dong wrote a bunch of incriminating crap in a Word document, put the label of or saved it under confidential, and then oh, you know, they sound interest honestly, that's how I would do it, and then I'd burn the typewriter. It'd be like the end of a Mission Impossible tape. This tape will self-destruct after this recording has been listened to. Prosecutors made a special web-based, portal using NextPoint software because of the voluminous discovery. The extensiveness of the material is why the defense only gained access to the portal on October 20th, the motion stated. Don't give Disney any ideas. Good morning, blue-haired Bible lady Nikki and Squab Bob. Quote, much to the dismay of defense counsel, upon reviewing the discovery provided via the portal, counsel discovered many of the email communication between Mr. Fernandez and his attorney, they wrote. All, if not most of these emails featured the subject line confidential information, they wrote. The defense also asserts that they found emails between Gardner and her Florida attorney, Hank Cox, and at least one phone call between her and her Washington attorney, Andrew Wagley. Law and Crime has reached out to her criminal defense attorney, Jose Baez, for comment on Fernandez Saldana's motion to disqualify the prosecution office. No such motion appears in Gardner's case files as of Thursday. Interesting. You could tell me that technology is key to do anything. I'd believe you because I don't understand technology. Good morning, Sally Bischoff. Guess I'm going back to cutting out magazine letters for my Cartman style, Kathleen Kennedy, we love you sort of letters. I'm just kidding. I don't even have magazines. Let's see. The defense wants the entire prosecutor's office booted, saying the privileged communications were shared with everyone with access to the NextPoint portal. In addition, they want the NextPort portal to be shut down. A new taint team would go through discovery and take out all privileged communications, they said. Quote, the state will file appropriate objections to the defense's motion, and it's confident it will prevail under full consideration of the court, the state's attorney's office for the Fourth Judicial Circuit told Law and Crime in an email. So, I mean, I can only imagine that this is going to be highly litigious and legalese sort of case just because you have people with a lot of money. It's a new series. Oh my goodness. And then our final story, because I go after everyone because I believe that all of our current political leaders are ridiculous. Whatever. You know what? Kardashians, I hold you deeply responsible for all of this. I mean, had the Kardashians never been a thing, would we know about this person under either alias? But Caitlyn Jenner seems to have gotten Caitlyn in trouble on the nets, the interzones. Caitlyn Jenner proudly used the R word on Twitter. I can only think that means Republican, but maybe oh, well. The Olympian typed out the slur Wednesday night in response to Donald Trump Jr. complaining that it is no longer a big part of our vernacular as it was when he was growing up. I'll say it was, well, sweetheart, look, I have a hard time. I have a hard time with spelling too, but um I'll say it, and then she misspelled the word that she thought she could say, but ended up putting herself also on the No Child Left Behind, graduation with special honors sort of thing. Jenner boldly replied after another social media user pointed out the glaring typo, the former I Am Kate star corrected herself. "Excuse me." She then reposted and with correct spelling, she wrote. However, that didn't stop the internet from tearing into Jenner. Misspelling that word specifically is so god dang funny, one Twitter user wrote. I know, that's why I picked it as our last story for Friday. I mean, there is so much that I could say about all of this, but I think that face with that, voiceover in the background, "I bet you're wondering how I got here," and then you just it for the love of all that is holy. That face too. Uh, "He Hex, are you dumb?" Another asked. "Learn how to spell it first, maybe?" "Perfect. No notes." One more quipped. "The jokes really do write themselves," a follower agreed. Despite being made aware of the error, the 74-year-old did not delete the misspelled tweet from their page. Instead, she joined in on the chorus of trolls making fun of her. "Oh my God, I immediately respelled it properly," laughing I guess laugh crying in the comments. She wrote in a follow-up post, "Epic ironic fail. I get it. Ha ha ha." Uh, The Special Olympics website describes the R word as a hurtful term that remains prevalent throughout social media, where 7 in every 10 posts about people with intellectual disabilities are negative and 6 in 10 contain a slur. The R word was originally introduced as a medical term in 1961, according to the organization, but federal health, education, and labor statutes replaced it with intellectually disabled or an intellectual disability. Uh, After President Barack Obama signed legislation known as Rose's Law in 2010, Jenner's tweets came after Trump called President Biden. Well, he may have called. I know it does. Those are mighty big hands. And that voice. Look, Fox News, I have to watch you for newsy news, but if you could just give me a Caitlyn Jenner warning bell, because there is something incongruous when you're just listening with earbuds and then you hear that voice and you look up and you're like, "Okay, I just need a warning." Look, dare I say a trigger warning for when you're gonna use Caitlyn Jenner from now on, Fox News. Meet me in the middle. I just need to know so I can turn the channel, mostly. But there you go. That is the news for today, where we ended on a Caitlyn and we began on a Caitlyn. So Caitlyn Armstrong, guilty of murdering a Mo, which really is the most terrible thing you could ever do. Uh, two-time Republican governor just loves his cockfighting, and why shouldn't he? Sarah Boone nowhere to be found, but there was a body found in stuffed in a I shouldn't laugh. Stuffed in a suitcase in Northern California. If you have any leads, if you live in I wanna say if you live near Oakland and you have any leads, do call the police if you know anything about it. Obviously, I don't know much about it. You know what? Bloomsy Box is willing to pay you up to $12,000 or not 12,000, $2,000 to watch 12 Hallmark movies, and I would like someone to pay me $2,000 to, uh, well, not watch them if possible. AI models are better than real models because who wants to deal with anyone in real life anyway? Besides, models are always hangry, and I'm sure they're just not the nicest people to hang around. In just heartbreaking news, unfortunately, Adam Johnson's girlfriend and family members, as they were packing up his apartment, found the engagement ring that he was planning to, pop the question with later this year or early into next year. It's a little nebulous. I think maybe they were planning to do it around the holidays. So that's really sad news. And apparently, if you write confidential, it may or may not get past the taint team. I know. We need to get Drex in for this because I think we need to have a we need to have a conversation whether that's, you know, sadomasochistic or just regular masochistic. I don't know. And to end on our Caitlyn, apparently Caitlyn Jenner, their spell check just did not work. Also, again, Fox News, I need a Caitlyn Jenner warning tone on my feed for when you're going to trot this person out because the incongruity of everything just throws me and then, y'all, I'm 12. There is nothing like, "This is Caitlyn Jenner." I'm sorry, but when your vocal octave is lower than mine, it is incongruent, and I'm 12-year-old enough to admit it and then realize that I won't be paying attention to the news, so please just give me a note. Let me know you're going to have this person on, and then I will realize that you're not being serious about this subject, and I'll turn you off. Yeah, can you imagine the crossover? That is it for the newsy news this morning, and I am going to have please send all your entries for the Auntie Mo Explains It All. We will be having a this weekend this weekend, we will have Auntie Mo Explains It All. I have a couple of stories pulled, uh, you know, but if you have questions, things that need to be explained with a whiteboard of truth, we will be having an Auntie Mo Explains It All stream. I will be setting that up probably Saturday. I need to go and ask everyone about times and stuff, see when we got things open so you can watch your, D Large and Jody's stuff and still watch Auntie Mo explain some things to some people. Well, I mean, unless you're Will Smith. And it is a banner. We are making this solo. Fry is finally on his bed, fully on his bed. He might actually like the new big bed. We might have finally taught him the joy of sleeping completely on a bed. Any hoozle, have a wonderful day. I have some errands to run, so there will not be Newsy News Nooner today. But if Nicholas feels like having, it's finally Friday, I will be up. And then I'm going to try to get some videos out, just solo videos out about some Delphi stuff and other different things going on. So I should be working on those, but I do have some errands to run, and it's easier to get them run when the kids are not home. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. It is rainy and cold here, so, say something nice to someone and something nice to yourself, and have a wonderful end of the week. I will see you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys.